Hello everyone, welcome to our introductory lecture on chapter 2 of class 9 science, that is matter around us pure? So this video is going to be an introduction to this chapter, and we will get to know certain terms that are very important and very essential. Although these terms are very general and we have heard about these terms a lot, but we need to understand what they actually mean, because there are very fine lines of differences between these compounds. So let's get started without wasting much time. So the terms that I was talking about are these. So we need to understand what are atoms, molecules, substances, mixtures, and also what are pure and impure compounds. So as the chapter's name itself says, is matter around us pure? And this purity depends on these four terms. So what do these four terms mean, and how do we correlate purity or impurity to these terms? So let's start one by one. So what are atoms? Atoms means the building block of anything. So if you have heard about certain atoms like carbon, oxygen, then we have sulfur, hydrogen, nitrogen, phosphorus, etc. There are many, over hundreds of atoms are there. These are atoms of different elements. That is, carbon is an element, oxygen is an element, sulfur is an element, and everything here is an element. These are atoms. Atoms are the building blocks. So we combine atoms to form what are called molecules. So just take one example. Suppose we have hydrogen and we have oxygen. If I combine these two, I will get water. H2O. H2O, as we all know, is water. So you don't need chemical reactions. This is just for your understanding that if I have hydrogen and if I have oxygen, this is going to form a molecule of water. So this is an atom. This is also an atom. Although this is not the right chemical reaction, this is the wrong chemical reaction. Actually, the reaction goes like this, and we have some other stuff. But what I am trying to imply here is that if I combine atoms of hydrogen and atoms of oxygen, the atoms of these two compounds is going to form a molecule of water. This is a molecule. Atoms of two different compounds will give us one molecule, and this molecule is a pure compound. This is a pure compound. Okay, we'll be going step by step. So this molecule contains only water. We don't have anything else mixed in water. So that is why this molecule is called pure compound or pure molecule, whatever we want to tell. Now the thing is, what is substance and what is mixture? Let's take one example. If you have water and you have salt added to it or sugar added to it, whatever is your choice. You take one bowl of water and you add salt or sugar to it. If you add salt or sugar, what happens is, here we have a mixture of compounds. Here we have water and we have sugar, or salt. So suppose let us take salt. So we have salt and water. So these are two different compounds or two different molecules. A salt is a molecule and water is another molecule. So whenever we have combination of molecules, it makes them impure. They are no longer pure. But if we have mixture of atoms to form molecules, that molecule is pure. So whether a substance is pure or impure is not based on the atoms. It is actually based on what molecule it contains. Okay, please, if you don't understand, rewind the video and try to get it what I said from the beginning, that purity of any compound does not depend on whether it has tens or hundreds of atoms. It depends on whether it has multiple number of molecules of different substances. So again, let us take this water example and try to understand it better. So as I said, water contains, formula of water is H2O. Okay, now water contains two atoms, hydrogen atom and oxygen atom. But water is considered as a pure substance. Water is, this H2O is a pure substance. So substance will directly mean that it is talking about a compound or a molecule. Substance never talks about an atom. Okay, so I can't say that carbon itself is a substance. No, carbon is not a substance, it is an atom. This atom will combine to form compounds which will be called substances. Like water is a substance. It is formed from hydrogen and oxygen. So it is a molecule. A molecule is called as a substance or a compound. So now, if you understand what is atom and if you understand what is molecule, if that is clear, then we will move into what is purity and what is impurity. One last time I will repeat. Water is a combination of hydrogen and water. Hydrogen and oxygen. And hydrogen and oxygen, these two are atoms. But they combine to form one molecule of water. And this water molecule is pure. If I say that if the argument is like, how can it be pure? Because it contains two different atoms. Hydrogen and oxygen, these are two different things. How can you say that it is pure? Because we can say this as pure because this purity does not consider atoms. Purity considers the presence of molecules. And here we have a single type of molecule, that is water. If you take a bucket of water and you can say that there will be millions and billions of molecules of water. Okay, huge number of water molecules will be there, not only one water molecule. So since if you have pure, this only H2O molecule in this water is pure water. As I said, pure water. Pure water means that if you have only one type of molecule, so if it is only containing H2O, H2O, H2O and billions of H2O molecules, then it will be called pure water. Unless you add something else to this. What I said, salt. So suppose we add salt to this water mixture, if we add some salt, what happens is salt and water mixes. If you want to take a glass of water, add some salt. What becomes of this is a mixture. So when you add salt to it, it becomes a mixture. It is no longer a pure compound. Mixtures are always impure. Why? Because salt is another molecule. Let us take one example of NaCl. NaCl, which is the common salt that you have in your house, and have in your dining table. This NaCl is a salt. You want to add NaCl to water, you add it. Now NaCl is one compound. Water is another compound. When two compounds mix, they form a mixture. Okay, two atoms or three atoms or four atoms can mix to form one compound, like NaCl. Sodium is one atom, chlorine is one atom. They combine to form one molecule, but this is not an impure molecule. This is a pure molecule, a pure substance, because purity and impurity is based on the types of molecules, not the types of atoms. So sodium chloride in itself is pure, but sodium chloride when mixed in water, it becomes a mixture, because now there are two types of things. Here we have NaCl as well as H2O. So this solution becomes impure. Now, even the sodium chloride, that is a very interesting thing. If you go to your science lab and you take the sodium chloride from there and you take the sodium chloride that you eat every day in your home, these are also different. These are not exactly the same sodium chloride. You can't take the sodium chloride from your lab and use it for cooking. The taste will be completely destroyed of your food. And the reason is, if you see behind the packet of salt, suppose whatever salt you buy, suppose Tata salt, Desh Ka Namak. So if you buy the Desh Ka Namak, Tata salt, in the advertisement of Tata salt it is said that iodized namak. Tata salt is an iodized salt, means it has mentioned that it contains iodine. So what we have there is NaCl is the salt, obviously, but along with NaCl, to get the taste appropriate, they add some other compounds along with iodine, because iodine has some health benefits. So they add iodine along with, they have NaCl, which is the salt, they add iodine to it, and some other compounds also they add, just to bring the taste, to make the taste such that we can have it. Because if you taste the NaCl from your chemistry lab, it will be very bad. So don't try to taste it. I am just saying from my experience, I have tasted NaCl from the chemistry lab. It is very bad taste. It is not at all close to the taste of this NaCl that you find in your home, because there are many other chemicals or many other compounds that have been added to the NaCl. And as a result, the salt that you have in your home is not a pure salt. It is not at all a pure salt. Even if it is written at the top of the packet that it is pure salt, it is not a pure salt. This is not pure because it contains many other chemicals combined. If you turn the packet around, whatever salt you buy, you turn the packet around and you see ingredients. And if you see anything else is added other than NaCl, then it will be an impure salt. It is a mixture of different compounds. But the chemistry, in chemistry lab, whatever you will have as NaCl, that NaCl will be pure NaCl because there are no other compounds added other than NaCl. So I hope you understand what purity and impurity means. And impurity, all the mixtures that you form, means you combine one or two molecules, one or two compounds, one or two substances. These molecules or substances will combine to form a mixture. This is not the mixture that you have from the fuchka wala, golgappa wala, but yeah, it's something like this. Means you, suppose you take some bhujia, you take some golgappa, you take some potato, then some chutney, and you mix them. So it becomes a mixture. But if you take only potato, mashed potatoes, that will be like a pure compound. Mashed potato will be a pure compound, it will not be a mixture. But if you add chutney and this coriander leaves, along with it some onions, then some golgappa and all this, you get a mixture of this. That's when it becomes impure, because now there is not a single type of compound. There are many types of compounds coming together to form a new, something new, that is a mixture. Okay, so I hope you understand what is mixture and what are pure substances and impure substances. So if I want to correlate everything together, I can say that molecule, a single type of molecule or substance, single molecule or type of molecule, suppose you have a bucket of water, only water, then that is a combination of a single type of molecule. If you have a substance, any means water is also a substance, so this single type will give us pure molecules or pure compounds. Now if we have a mixture, mixture means what? Combination of molecules or substances. Combination of molecules or substances will give us impure compounds. Okay, so purity and impurity depends on whether you have a single type of molecule or different types of molecules. And atoms, for now, no need to or think about atoms, because atoms we are not going to study in this chapter. We have a different chapter for atoms, that's when we will get to know about atoms. So don't think about atoms. I just mentioned atoms so that you understand that, means whenever you see a molecule, if you see water, you will obviously understand that here we have two things, hydrogen and water. Then why is everyone saying that this is pure and this is not impure? Because here you have two things. The thing is, we only consider this as a whole. We consider molecules as a whole. So water will be termed as pure because water is a single type of molecule. Okay, so again, finally wrapping up everything. So the gist of this whole lecture is that substance will be pure if it contains a single type of molecule. For example, your salt. The salt in your laboratory contains only NaCl. NaCl salt will contain only NaCl and no other compound. So that will be a pure compound. Impure compounds are those where you have a combination of elements. That is a mixture. A mixture means a combination of molecules or combination of compounds that produces a mixture, and that is the NaCl that you have in your home, the one that you eat with your food. That NaCl contains the NaCl along with iodine and other compounds which helps to bring out the taste of salt so that it becomes edible, because the NaCl in the lab, which is the pure NaCl, is not edible. This NaCl, to make it edible, they add other compounds to it as well, making it edible, and as a result, since they are adding so many compounds to NaCl, this whole packet of salt becomes an impure compound because it becomes a mixture. So a mixture is an impure compound. So I hope this lecture was helpful. I hope you understood what I was trying to explain, and in the next videos we will move into the different types of solutions, colloidal solutions, we have suspension, how to separate mixtures, means how to separate different molecules or compounds from mixtures. There is a long list of things that we need to discuss. So we will be making videos on these topics, and I hope you will be there to watch it, and I hope you understand the videos. So until the next video, cheers.